how about a beautiful location where you can learn about art, appreciate art, listen to wonderful music performances, and even get an education? Yeah, that's happening all at one spot. I'm talking about the Lake Wales Art Council, or Arts Center, which is where we are located right now. I'm back with my friend Tommy here, the executive director. And Tommy, we're in one of the classrooms. We've talked about the musical performances in the past, but education is really one of the pillars, too, of the Arts Council, isn't it?
It absolutely is. I mean, there's one thing to observe art, which we have to have people who are appreciating art. But I feel like you appreciate it even more if you've tried it, or dare I say fall in love with it and continue to do it as a hobby or as a professional. Just the ability to create space. What the Arts Council wants to do is we want to create space that allows people to try something new or return to something that they haven't done in years, develop a community of people by taking a class or coming in and autonomously working with Studio Pass, which just allows people to have access to the space. And what we want to do is we want to create that opportunity for people to really invest in themselves and invest in their own creativity.
I really like how you say maybe do something you've done in the past, revisit, or do something new, because I feel like that's where, at least for me, appreciating art, it does take me back, if you will, especially ceramics. And I know there's two types of art we're going to talk about in the class. Touch on ceramics. I mean, we're surrounded by wheels right now. Give people an idea of what happens in this classroom.
So in our ceramic studio, we have both hand building and wheel throwing classes. We have the most publicly accessible wheels in our county. And that means that you don't have to be an enrolled student. You can come and take a date night class, which is single visit. You can come in and take a serial class like our month-long pottery classes. But what you're able to do is find access to a pottery wheel in our county, which you can't do anywhere else. And what happens is people just get naturally excited about throwing on the wheel. And we have the ability to introduce kids to it at an early age. Where else do you get to do that? Right. We have the ability for people who have done it in high school, but now they're in their 50s and they're coming back and they're trying it again for the first time, it seems. And then we have folks who have always loved it, and they're coming in to use the space. They're happy that we're here because maybe they didn't have a wheel at home. Maybe they needed to have a community of people to just bounce things off of. Like maybe they have a wheel and a kiln at home, and we have several people who do. But they want to come here because they want to be around other people. They want to learn extra things. They want to build, and then they want to go home, invest in that a little bit more, and then come back again.
Well, I like that you're touching on the community elements. It's something we talked about even off camera, how the students do get to know each other and have plans. Let's also shed the light on instructors. I know you're proud of the folks who do come in and work with the people of the community who are interested.
Yes, we actually have this really amazing circumstance here that I've got a master's degree in ceramics. We have someone who is a retired ceramics professor from New Jersey. He taught there for 34 years and just happens to live here in Lake Wales now. We were very excited to meet each other. We have another art professional who actually moved up to take care of her aging parents. She moved here from the Miami area, and she is totally thrilled that she can invest in the arts in this smaller town as opposed to being in larger Miami. Mm-hmm. She's actually our stained glass instructor, and so she's now bringing in this extra bit of studio experience that we can have that, again, makes us unique compared to other places in our county or in Central Florida.
And I'm so glad you shifted gears to talk about stained glass, because I wanted to bring that up next. Ceramics, only one of the classrooms, stained glass as well. Talk about that as an art form and what that's able to draw out of people.
So the interesting thing about stained glass is that you have to have a kind of a follows the rule mentality, which can be a little bit tricky. We don't necessarily think of artists as being people who follow the rules. We're kind of countercultural. Right. But what we have is we have templates that allow students to cut the glass, assemble it together, understand all the rules that go into making a stained glass piece, and then they break the rules. Hopefully not the glass, right? But they'll break the rules of creating their own type of composition that then goes within the guidelines of being a stained glass piece.
You know, I want to make sure, too, before we run out of time, and mention there are different types of classes. I think you touched on a little bit date night classes, right, which is something that's exciting to give people that first opportunity. Yeah. But then there's stuff that's more regular. Talk about how you really are catering to any kind of student that's out there, maybe a student of the past or a student of the future.
Absolutely. We have 4-week, month-long classes, and we also teach teach painting, we teach drawing, we have a few other things that we do too. Right, so we're talking about some of our unique programs, but we also have those staple types of learning that people are interested in doing. But really what we're trying to do is create a space with our instructors that allows people to try something new, and then they fall in love with it and they keep coming back. And while they're coming back, they're building a community of people that are invested in each other, invested in the things that they're learning and creating, and then taking that creative spirit into our city, into our county, and kind of augment all of life with, making things here.
And again, did I say here is just a fabulous spot yet? Because if you have not been, make sure check out Lake Wales Art Council, or the Art Center as we sometimes know it as. So much going on. We're sharing the website on the screen. Is that the best place to go to learn about the classes?
Definitely. Yeah, our website's www.lw-arts, plural, .org. That's where you're going to find everything about the classes that we have going on. Whether you're coming to visit for the weekend and want to go see Bach Tower, but you want to take a date night class with us on Friday night, that's a great opportunity to get a little twofer when you're making the trip to Lake Wales. You can also look at the other classes, those 4-week classes, or sometimes we have specialty workshops. For example, there's going to be one in March where we bring in an artist from Barcelona, Spain. He's actually going to be in Florida, and we have contracted him to come and present how he throws on the wheel, which is this incredibly unique opportunity right here in Lake Wales.
And it's really cool because the artists, like the one you just mentioned, it's like when they hear about this place, they want to come visit. You've talked about all the visitors from all over the country that have come here. We want to make sure you do the same. As always, you get more information on our website too. Tommy, thank you again for introducing me to this.
It was a pleasure.